Nico is 0-4 at UCLA. They just lost their last winnable game. Austin, they look, we're issuing an apology right now to our listeners because we said
We got it
that this
wrong.
team could. We got it wrong. We said this team could go 2-10, 3-9. Austin, it looks like this team's going 0-12.
Going on tough.
0-12. Speaking of fired coaches, just fired their coach, Nico. Yet again, I think he had some runs. He had like 60 yards on the ground, but like I don't know,
He was
100 something pass
pedestrian.
yards and one touchdown. He was pedestrian, like he's always been. Talk
Yes.
us through it.
So yeah, I mean, there's so much to say here. You put up 14 against Northwestern. That's one thing. You put up 14 against Northwestern. And it is a big story. It's one of the biggest stories, man. A couple weeks ago, I called it the worst trade in sports. And there's a lot of bad trade in sports, Blake. There's a lot of bad trades in sports history. I'm thinking it's the worst trade in the history of the universe at this point. Like, that's how bad this trade has been for UCLA. I compare it beforehand, maybe like the Louisiana Purchase. That was a really good trade for us, right? The Louisiana Purchase. We got an absolute deal on the Louisiana Purchase. Joey Aguilar for Nico is even better than the Louisiana Purchase, dude. That's how much we upgraded compared to Nico. I mean, and again, we have our issues with hype with some of the game management. He won 10 games with this bum. I can't. That's baffling, dude. The fact that he took that kid to the playoffs is a miracle, dude. An absolute miracle. They score 14 against Northwestern. What they're gonna go 0-12, man. That's gonna be the record. It's gonna be 0-12. And UCLA fans told me, right? They're on social media. I don't know. They must be burner. I don't know who they are because they're not in the stadium. They dang sure ain't
Right.
in the stadium, Blake. They're not there at the games. They're trying to tell me that it was the coach and it wasn't Nico. Nico's good. Trust me, Nico's good. He put up 14 against Northwestern. Northwestern has no talent. I was thinking, me and my buddies were brainstorming yesterday as we were hate watching Nico. We were brainstorming, can we name a single Northwestern player in the history of Northwestern football? I couldn't come up with a single one. I couldn't come up with a single one. Northwestern's awful. And that's why in when we were talking preseason about Nico and the trade and how UCLA will look this year, one of the games we circled was okay, like they could end up being 3-1. They have UNLV. Okay, that's probably a win. New Mexico, that's probably, I mean, New Mexico hasn't won a Power Four game since 2008, so that's probably a win. And then Northwestern, because Northwestern's the worst team in the Big Ten. Well, that's changed. UCLA now is the worst team in college football. I mean, I genuinely don't think, and again, I'm not trolling you, Blake. Is there a team in FBS that UCLA could beat? I wouldn't bet on it,
Not
man.
sure.
I
I don't
would
think
not
so.
bet on that.
And brother, listen, I love the comparison to the Louisiana Purchase, greatest trade of all time. You love it, man. I tell you what, that inspires me to call this trade the manifest destiny for us. Okay, we bought the Louisiana Purchase
I
under
love
the
it.
Monroe Doctrine. We were trying to go coast to coast from the Atlantic to the Pacific, control all the land between both oceans. That was the Monroe Doctrine. Called it manifest destiny. It was our destiny to control the whole land. And I tell you what, brother, it was the destiny of the Tennessee Volunteers to land the firemen, the greatest trade in sports history.
From our perspective,
Send the
the
freaking
worst trade for
the
UCLA's
yeah,
perspective.
the worst trade from UCLA's perspective, but from our perspective, the best in history. Send that bum Nico over there, and we got Joey the fireman Swagular. Absolutely incredible stuff.
Incredible, dude.
And man, yeah, I tell you,
Dude,
it's not looking good for them.
it's not. And I don't know if you heard during the game yesterday. You might not have seen this clip yet on Twitter. And I didn't hear it because of the stupid cowbells, but I heard it after the fact on Twitter. Apparently, at some point, the announcer during the game was just talking about this trade and was like, man, Aguilar could have been at UCLA right now, Blake, on a struggling football team. He said that. That's a very kind thing to say. When you say struggling when the team's 0-4 and lost to New Mexico, a team that hasn't won a Power 4 game since 2008, that's a very kind way to say that. He said he could have been
Yep.
on a struggling football team playing in front of 15,000 fans, but now he's in Knoxville, taking Georgia to the brink, playing in in Neyland with 102,000 fans. We're in Starkville with the packed out stadium, literally leading us to a great record right now and potentially on our way to the playoffs. It was a great point. My only problem with it, because I saw a UCLA fan, which are becoming one of the more annoying fan bases, because we're tied to them now in a way, and I'm looking at their fan bases, and they think so highly of themselves for some reason. I have no idea why. Troy Aikman hasn't played there since the '90s, and that's the only relevant UCLA player I can think of. But, and I said '90s, it was really the '80s. Anyways, point being, Blake, is that he said 15,000 and somebody got upset about this. He's like, this is low hanging fruit. Like, this is low hanging fruit. He said 15,000. You should have been happy with what he said because he overstated it by 10,000
That was
fans.
generous.
It's
That
really
was generous.
5,000 fans, and it's majority the other fan base. Like, you should have been happy with the generous announcing that guy gave you. That was very gracious how he said that. Like, he wasn't throwing you. He was trying to tell how it is, but he was being very gracious while doing so, because the reality is they play in front of basically no fans, and they're 0-4. They're not just struggling, they're the worst team in college football.
It's almost, Austin, like the media is kind of tiptoeing around it, because then they would have to admit how wrong they were about, oh man, Tennessee is in a worse position. Tennessee's not going to be as good this year because they lost Nico, and now they got this Joey Aguilar guy, who's this guy from App State. He's from just over the mountains, over there in Boone, North Carolina, and App State. Who's this bum? He ain't gonna do nothing. Now, they lost Nico. They're gonna be worse off. It's like the media is like not wanting to admit that they got it wildly wrong, right? And now they're trying to be generous and talking about it. They've got to talk about it. You're eventually going to have to reckon with the fact that you have to talk about that this was the biggest fumble in the history of football for Nico and his family, the biggest fumble, and for UCLA, and the biggest win for us. And Austin, what's even crazier, brother, what is even crazier is and obviously I can't verify if it's true. It's just rumors at this point, but there's whispers of, is Nico gonna enter the portal again after the season's over? Is he going to enter the transfer portal?
Well,
wait a minute. I thought he's fine. He's there to be with his family.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He ain't going nowhere, right?
That's the new narrative, right? It's family now, because before it was the situation, but now it's family. Well, he's with his family. What does he need to transfer for?
He's with his family. He ain't going nowhere.
The reason he's going to transfer, Blake, is because UCLA is going to tell him to hit the road, because some guys are told they got to go. You got to go, bro. And I am willing to bet the new coach is going to look up and down this roster. The first thing he's going to look at quarterback, and he's like, yeah, we got to go.
$2 million for that?
He got to go. Yikes. Yeah, it's the biggest lopsided trade in history.
Talent a coach could get for $2 million of other players.
You brought up the media earlier.
3 or 4 other players.
You brought up the media earlier, Blake, and you talked about how they were all wrong. Listen, we have a podcast. We made our predictions. Our last prediction heading into the season was the ceiling of our offense is going to be raised. And we're sitting here wondering why the win total went down when the quarterback got better. That was our prediction. That would make us right, and that would make everyone else wrong. That's the reality. And at the end of the season, whether we make the playoffs or not, we will bring up receipts. We will have a special, I'm announcing it right now, Blake, I haven't even brought this up with you. We will have a special show where we bring up the receipts of all the idiots in the media who thought, Tennessee was cooked. They're done. Nico, the 5-star is gone. There's going to be some notable names on there now. Josh Pate, Urban Meyer, the boneheads on the Auburn podcast, which I don't even know if I'll give them a platform, but I might have to bring them up just because. By the way, Auburn lost again. You can delete the tweet whenever, man. It's fine to delete it. Okay, you can get rid of it whenever. And I know most of our listeners have no idea what I'm talking about. Point being is, we're going to bring the receipts, and we're going to review it, and we're going to be honest too. We're gonna bring clips from our show. We'll show you clips from our show, what we said,
Yep.
okay? Because if we were fence sitting and we were like, well, we always try to be nuanced and stuff and be like, hey, we don't know how the offense is gonna look. There's a lot of question marks.
Yep.
But I felt more confident about the quarterback heading into this year because I'm sitting here saying it's like Nico was awful last year. We've seen the highlight reel. We've seen all the overthrows. I think the ceiling of the offense is going to get better. Like I said, at multiple occasions before the season. That's key because if we're saying after the fact, like we can't
Yep.
take credit, right? It's like,
Oh, right.
whatever. It's just hindsight. We said it before the season, and everyone, pretty much every notable name in sports media, college football media, said it was going to be a disaster for the Vols. You all said it. You all said it. Okay. And we're going to bring it up. And apologies right now it's not cutting it. It's not cutting it. We're waiting
Nope.
until the end of the
Nope.
year when the UCLA's 0-12 and the Vols are in the playoffs. And then we're going to need public apologies on Fox. It's not through social media, not through podcasts nobody listened to. I want it on Fox. I want an apology in the camera from Urban Meyer, from Josh Pate. And I like Josh Pate, but Josh Pate's on that list as well. Okay. All you boneheads with these models and whatever. You got it wrong. Your model was wrong. Nico was awful last year, dude. That was the reality, okay? And Joey, and it wasn't like, oh, for sure he's going to be this good, but he was going to be better than Nico this year. He just was. He always was going to be. And it's not even because Joey, it's because that's how bad Nico was last year, Blake. 3 straight first halves without a point scored, dude, in the Josh Heupel offense.
And Joey Aguilar is showing us yet again how much of an actual genius Josh Heupel is on offense because we're scoring at will again. Austin, we have had is it 5 5 games straight now where we have had 40 or more points scored. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Including against 2 SEC defenses, by the way.
Yeah, two good SEC defenses.
2 good SEC defenses. So, yeah, I mean, look, greatest trade in the history of sports for us, worst for them. Fools like Urban Meyer are already walking it back. He's already like, oh, it's too late. You got to eat your crap sandwich, man.
It's not enough.
It's too late.
Too late.
It's not enough.